What is up, Western North Carolina? This is Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fran Ederson Toyota of Asheville. And it's a Friday morning. We're getting ready to go into a really nice weekend. It's already like almost 60 degrees outside today. And I think both today and tomorrow it's gonna be really nice. But anywho, this is kind of like my weekend preview I always do. So I've already walked the lot quite a bit. I'm just gonna show you some of the ones that I think on our pre-owned site here are either the best bargains or kind of the coolest things or just whatever people I think might want to see. So let's just go ahead and take a walk. All right, so this is not really going to be any particular order, but I did do a video recently on this Toyota 4Runner. It's actually a third row 4Runner, and it's a limited, and it's very rare to see them in that dark navy blue color. So that's something that I want to point out yet again. And then we do have another limited over here as well. I feel like the white limiteds are more common in these, so that may be more of what somebody's looking for. But we've got a pretty good selection right now, the 4Runners. Okay, so here's another one of my honest favorites on the lot here, and I'll be honest with you, this one's actually been on the lot for a little while now, so they've actually reduced the price. And I will tell you, the only reason why that this Mazda CX-3 has not sold yet is because it is a front wheel drive. A lot of people want to have an all-wheel drive SUV. I totally get that, but what I like about this one is actually a Grand Touring model. And the Grand Touring models, this one's locked up at the moment, but the Grand Touring models have all the really nice stuff inside. Not only does it have like the leather, the heated cool seats, but this has a pretty intense tech package that has the adaptive cruise. And then you actually have, if you look right here in the dashboard, I don't know if you can kind of see it, I'll come around to this angle. If you see this little hole in the dashboard, that is because you actually have a heads-up display. So as you're driving down the road, you can actually get your speed and also the speed limits of the streets you're driving on projected onto the windshield. And it's really handy, but this thing is just really nice inside. And if you're looking, I think it's like right around, I'm totally pulling from the air here, but I think this is like in the low 20s. I want to say it's 22 or 23,000. The website's the best place to check accurate pricing because they do weekly updates, but this thing is super sharp. It's definitely one you want to check out if you're looking for something in that price range or this size SUV. All right, so now I'm going to point out a couple Fords we have. So this is a 2018 Ford Explorer that we just got in. It has like 28,000 miles, which is great. You can see it's the facelift on this one. For people that know where I've been the last little bit, I've been selling Fords for the better part of the year, and I can actually say, even though I'm a Toyota guy through and through, I will hands down say that the third row in the Explorer in this size SUV is one of the best, if not the best, third rows that you can actually get in this size SUV. You can actually fit an adult back there if you had to. And if you've looked at like the MDXs or even the Highlander, stuff like that, they're just really cramped inside. This one is an XLT, and it's kind of a mid-trim XLT. It does have cloth interior, but it has the power seats. It's got the really clean interior here. No sunroof on this one, but you can see you've got vents for every seat. It's kind of like an airplane in here. But these are actually a really great driving SUV. Only thing I would need to find out about this one is if it's front wheel drive or not, and if it's got the it's probably just a regular 3.5 liter V6, but good power out of that one. And right next to it we have this Ford Edge Titanium 2018. I'm not sure on the mileage right off the top of my head, but for the people that like kind of like a full-size SUV without having the third row, this is actually, in my opinion, as well, one of the best. It's a little bigger than the RAV4. You can see it's actually got a huge back seat in here. The Titanium is obviously an upper trim level. This has got the leather seats everywhere. You're gonna have heated seats up front. You've got the larger display up there, you can see. I think this is gonna have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in as well. You can see it's got the upgraded Sony stereo system. This is gonna have, I believe, it's got the 2.7, maybe the 3 liter V6. I'm a little rusty with the engines on these, but these are actually a really good driving SUV. Tons of room, and they've got pretty good styling as well. All right, so F-150s do not pop up that often, and this one actually is a really nice, actually very interestingly equipped F-150. I want to say this is a 17, maybe an 18. It does have the 3.5 EcoBoost, which is the one that you want. This is the full-size four-door, which is just one of the largest four-door trucks you can get as far as interior space. This one I am a huge fan of because it is an XLT that has the power group. So it's got your power seats and everything. It's got the center console, which the center console also includes having the larger screen, which again means you can have the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay plugged up. You get a better backup camera. This one obviously is 4-wheel drive. You also have your Pro Trailer Backup Assist, so it's already got that whole trailer kit installed. You can see it's an XLT, but we still have heated seats in here. And then we even have a sunroof, and it's the full panoramic sunroof. So this is a very interesting one to have heated seats, to have the screen, to have that massive sunroof, to have the EcoBoost, and to still have cloth. So I've really got the probably a good feeling that somebody specifically ordered this truck when it was new, because just some people like to have the cloth interior more than they do the leather. I don't blame them there. I guess just to each their own. But that's a really good F-150. And then we also have a couple 250s over here as well. All right, so here we have a couple hybrid vehicles. This is actually I think it's called a 330e or 320e, something like that. It's the BMW hybrid. It's kind of an interesting one. It's one I'm kind of curious to drive. I had a friend of mine that had one a while back, and he absolutely loved it. Got like 40 miles a gallon, something like that, in kind of a sporty 3 Series. But this is a 2017 Prius Prime. And if I was going to get a Prius, this one I think is probably the nicest one. And if anything, it really breaks the mold from the traditional tropes that you think of when you have a Prius. So I think the styling on this is actually really good. It's a hatchback Prius, which really most of them are, but this one is a defined hatchback. But the Prime is really specific for the styling. You can kind of see here with the glass, you have this really kind of futuristic and aerodynamic bubble, and it actually fits the shape here of the taillights, which kind of has like a fighter jet, you know, kind of aesthetic going on, but it is actually a curved glass. It has a bubble there, so I think is really cool. And then what's unique about these is once you get into the interior, obviously this is going to have leather. The Prime is basically at the top end there, but it's like a split chair setup. So this is not a 5-passenger, this is actually a 4-passenger, and it's a really nice center console here with the pocket, and the seats still fold down. And then if we look up here to the front dashboard, this is just a very modern looking dashboard. If you've been in a Prius, you've looked at a Prius before, you know, this definitely looks like a Prius inside as well, but it has really interesting, the lower climate control there. Below that, that's actually painted. The steering wheel's got a painted piece on it. And you've got kind of like that piano black that runs across the dashboard. And then of course that huge screen. And this one just got reduced to like right at 18 grand. So if you're thinking about getting something that's actually kind of stylish, definitely has room, features, and obviously get that great fuel economy, this is an easy pick here. And right next to it, we have a Camry that I can't believe has just not been sold. I guess there's just not as many people that like a blue color like I would think. This is like a really dark blue, probably looks black in the camera because the sun's coming at me at the wrong angle. But this is a very dark, I don't even really think it's a navy blue because it almost has a little bit of an aquamarine to it. But it's just a really gorgeous color. It does have a really nice flake to it, which you can probably see here in the camera, but it just looks really good. This is an XLE, so this is gonna have the leather and the heated seats. But this one, what I really like about it is it's a 2018 with 7,500 miles. So that's why it just blows my mind. And this thing is just really nice in and out. It just blows my mind that this has not sold yet. So if you're looking for a Camry or something in this price range, this is just about $21,000. It was actually just reduced. But this thing is super sharp and easily my favorite Camry on the lot. All right, so I tried to save the best two for last. So this is a really great looking 2018 Jeep Grand Cherokee Latitude. And I had to do a little bit of looking on this one, but this is a really sharp package. It's got this really dark, it's definitely like a gray. I wouldn't necessarily call it a battleship gray because it almost has a little bit more of a, I guess you maybe could call it a battleship gray. You can almost see it has like a little bit of a blue hue to it, but you've got the black wheels, the black badges, black everything really. And you get inside this thing and not only do you have the black leather, but it's kind of a split material that has what appears to be like an Alcantara here, and that is on the front seats and the back seats. You also have the larger screen. You've got this kind of weird fake wood going on, all the doors and the dash. This is just a super sharp Jeep. If I was gonna have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, this is the one that I would get. And I believe the pricing on this is like right at $30,000, so it's definitely a bargain. It's actually way less expensive than it would be to get like a 4Runner or something in that similar price range. 4Runners are usually all gonna be, you know, 35, something like that. Very similar with the Tacomas, but that thing is sick. And last but not least, we actually have a Kia Stinger here, which I love. This one does have, I believe this is the 4-cylinder turbo. I think they make a twin turbo V6 in these as well. But these still make really great power. They're really great on fuel. They actually have a lot of luxury car features. It's a full-size sedan, so you can kind of see you have full space in the front. You've got regular sized back seats. You can actually fit, you know, 4 to 5 adults comfortably. These things as well, I guess you could say it's a sedan, but they are actually a hatchback also. So you get a ton more practicality out of these than you would with a normal sedan. You just got this huge hatch, and then of course those seats can fold down as well. These are just, in my opinion, some of the best sedans out there. And I'm really curious to drive this one because I've been doing a lot of reading and research because it's a car that I've been considering buying for myself. But I've just heard that the driving characteristics of these things are actually really impressive. I'm a big fan of how the interiors look. I think they look very modern. You know, everybody's kind of going with a lot of airplane styling and things like that. But I just love the way that the trim is here with the vents, with the aluminum. I just think it's a really sharp looking interior. All right, folks, and that'll do it. That's about a 10-minute video. So I know I blasted a lot out in 10 minutes. But when you've got like 200 cars, and especially with the inventory that we have this weekend, it's hard to try to condense that down. I was trying to do a 5-minute video and it just didn't happen. But we've got a ton of stuff out here. And if you haven't really looked at the website, that's definitely the best place to go. If you saw something while I was walking around that you'd be curious in seeing, definitely let me know. We're open 9 to 7 all weekend except Sunday. So as always, thanks so much for watching and have a great day.